Welcome to the Deep Dive. We dig through the sources, find the important stuff, and lay it all out for you. Today, we're looking at Will Smith. Not just the actor, not just the rapper, but really the architect behind a whole entertainment empire. Okay, let's unpack this. Because when you hear his estimated net worth for mid-2025, somewhere, between $350 and $375 million, that's clearly more than just movie star money, right? It points to something bigger, a kind of financial game plan.
Absolutely. That number, it's impressive, sure, but it's not just talent. It really tells a story of strategic diversification over a whole career. Consistently high earnings, yes, but also some really smart business moves. So our mission here isn't just about the dollar amount. It's about understanding the evolution of this, mogul. How do you build something that lasts, that's so resilient in an industry as unpredictable as entertainment?
Yeah, and it's been quite the journey. It's easy to forget the early days, isn't it? Like, what were the key money moments before he was even on TV? Before the Fresh Prince?
Yes.
Things that sort of laid the foundation.
That's a really crucial point. It shows he was thinking strategically early on. A lot of people remember the Fresh Prince first, obviously, but that financial base, it started with music. DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince Grammy winners, late 80s, early 90s, those hits brought in serious revenue, sure, but maybe more importantly, they built this huge fan base, goodwill. So that early success wasn't just income, it was leverage. Leverage to get into TV, and then bam, leverage to become one of the biggest movie stars, like almost overnight.
Okay, so that leverage translates into these massive movie paychecks we hear about. I mean, those upfront fees are huge. But I'm really interested in deals like the reported $80 million from Men in Black 3. Like, what's really behind a number like that? What does it tell us about his power and, the financial setup that builds this kind of fortune?
Right, and that's where the shrewd business ventures part really comes into play. See, stars at that level, like Smith, they're not just getting a flat salary. The Men in Black 3 figure, and others like it, involves what's called back-end participation, a slice of the movie's gross earnings. It's not just a bigger paycheck, it's fundamentally different. It's a strategic move. It makes the actor effectively a partner in the film's success, so your potential earnings go way beyond just the upfront fee. It shows a shift, from just being talent for hire to being a real stakeholder.
That's fascinating how those deal structures work. And thinking about, recent years, obviously there were some very public setbacks after the 2022 Oscars, lost deals, projects put on hold, stuff like that. But even with those challenges, his overall net worth seems to have stayed incredibly solid. How did that established career, and especially those diverse income streams you mentioned, how did they manage to absorb that kind of shock?
That really is the stress test, isn't it? For any kind of empire, financial or otherwise. And this raises an important question about what makes wealth truly resilient. What really stands out is that deep diversification he already had in place. It meant that even when one area, like say endorsements, took a hit, other parts of the machine kept running strong. His financial base wasn't just riding on acting gigs or brand partnerships. His production company, Westbrook Inc., the one he co-founded with Jada Pinkett Smith, that played a massive role.
Right. Westbrook Inc. Tell us a bit more about that, because it feels like more than just a company that makes movies, right? What makes it so strategic, such a key part of the whole picture?
Exactly. Westbrook Inc. isn't just a standard production house. It's more like a whole content ecosystem. You've got Westbrook Studios making films and TV like King Richard, and Westbrook Media, which did things like Red Table Talk. This setup gives him significant creative control, obviously, but crucially, it gives him ownership of the intellectual property across different platforms. So instead of just being the actor in the thing, he's creating and owning the thing itself. That has far more long-term value, more stability. It means even if, say, acting roles slow down for a bit, the business itself is still generating revenue because it owns the content.
So he's not just on the stage, he's kind of building the stage itself. Interesting. What about the music, going back to his roots? Are those old royalties still a significant factor, financially speaking? Or is it more about legacy now? And how does his massive social media presence fit into all this?
Well, the music royalties, while probably not the main engine anymore, still represent a steady, ongoing income stream, passive income. It's a great example of how valuable intellectual property can be over the long haul. But what's really powerful now in the current landscape is that social media reach, millions upon millions of followers on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. He uses that presence very effectively for, major brand deals, advertising. Reports suggest he earns really significant money per post. It's a totally different high-yield income stream that just wasn't there when he started back in the day.
That adaptability is key, isn't it? Moving with the times. Okay, so Beyond entertainment, traditional stuff, social media, what other kinds of ventures make up this extensive portfolio? We hear hints about other investments.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely a savvy investor. And it's surprisingly diverse. He's backed quite a few companies in different areas, tech startups, even financial software. His venture capital firm, Dreamers VC, that's interesting. It specifically connects Japanese money with early-stage U.S. companies. Strategy there. And then there are less expected things, like investing in an F1 racing team, E1. Plus, brand ventures Just Water, which his son Jaden co-founded, is one, and his own clothing line, Bel Air Athletics. This sheer breadth means his financial health isn't just tied to Hollywood's ups and downs.
Right, spreading the risk. And we can't forget real estate, I suppose. The Smiths have that huge portfolio of multi-million-dollar homes, that massive place in Calabasas. Those are significant, tangible assets adding to the overall net worth. It's clear his financial game is strong, way beyond just acting and music. So, wrapping things up a bit, when we look back at this whole incredible journey, Will Smith's net worth in 2025, it really does reflect this amazing mix. You've got the raw talent, obviously, but combined with really smart strategic career moves and this impressive entrepreneurial drive. His financial foundation seems incredibly solid because of all those different income streams we talked about. It definitely cements his place as one of Hollywood's wealthiest, most influential figures, even, despite any public bumps in the road.
Absolutely. And yet, for all this discussion about building an empire, about strategy and numbers, his story also brings up something else. This raises an important question. It goes beyond just the money, doesn't it? Despite all this success, the scale of it all. Will Smith himself has talked publicly about how his view on wealth has shifted, especially after turning 50. He mentioned entering a sort of downsizing phase, financially speaking, and this growing feeling that, material things don't ultimately bring happiness. It seems like a real philosophical shift, maybe a focus towards philanthropy, using those resources for something beyond just, personal gain.
That is a really powerful point to end on, a reflective shift. So for you listening, what does this deep dive into Will Smith's world, financial and personal, really spark for you? Maybe thinking about what enduring wealth means, whether it's dollars and cents or something else entirely, and how maybe diversifying your own efforts, whatever they are, and taking that step back to reflect on what success truly means. How might that apply to your own life, your own goals? Definitely something to think about as you build your own foundations.